Today, we are with one of the best-selling small SUV in Thailand right now. That car is Jaecoo 5 and it's an EV. Hello everyone, welcome to Rides again. My name is Woody and this clip we are with Jaecoo 5 EV, which is the hottest car in Thailand right now because of the price positioning. And of course, at the recording of this clip, Jaecoo has surpassed 4,000 bookings with this introductory price, and they have extended a promotion to an additional 1,000 units more. Before we get to the review, let's look at the specs of the two models that launched. The two models have the same motors, the same horsepower, the same range, but with different options. So let's look at it right now. And let's get to this car very quickly. As you can see through the design, you might look at it and you think, I wonder what it looks like. And not big secret, it does resemble somewhat of a design language of the Land Rovers, right? So for those of you who didn't know, Chery, which is the parent company of Jaecoo and Omoda, they have this partnership with the Land Rover in China. Some of the design or even some technology exchange in between these brands. So of course, compared to the car in its segments, if you look at it through the design, you would think that it's slightly larger, but we will get to that in a minute, because in this segment with this similar price you can get the Dolphin, which we did a review already, the BYD Dolphin, and we haven't done the review yet, which is the Ion UT, and soon to come. Before we go to anything else with the design and everything, we will go straight to the luggage capacity, because look can be deceiving. As we can see, it's very boxy design. It tends to look bigger than it really is. So let's see how it holds the luggage and the water bottle. So let's get to that. All right, before we get inside of the vehicle to look at the storage areas and the build quality and all those stuff, those functions, we will now take a look at the rear and see the loading capacity of this car. And this is very interesting. If you're familiar with the Chinese cars, if you get the car that can also be internal combustion engine and EV, you will see some functions that's overlapping each other. So with Chinese cars, if they're purely EVs version, then there's usually less buttons, lots of screens. But if that car just so happens to have the ICE version, you will see more buttons and more functions. So this car in Thailand here, this is just the EV version, but it's also available somewhere else with the ICE version. So you will see that the function is kind of like a little bit of a combination of both. I'll give you an example, right? So this car, like I say, very value for money. Automatic tailgates, of course. And this luggage divider here, this is what I want to talk about, this part here. As you can see now, if you open this up, you can see that there's more storage underneath, and you can switch this and you can adjust it so the divider goes a little bit lower, so you get more space. So what we will do now is we'll try to load up all our luggage sets, the usual sets, and see how many luggage it can carry. So let's get to that. Right, so as you can see right now, that even though our largest size does not make it, but the rest can fit in nicely. Even without taking away the luggage divider, the tailgates can shut properly, which gives you more safety because you can look through the rearview mirror and there's nothing blocking your view from luggage compartment. And also, I will show you the pictures right now. Compared to with this price range, you can get one of the best-selling EVs, the BYD Dolphin. You can see it has way more capacity compared to the Dolphins. Or if you want to upsize it to the BYD Auto 3, which is also one of the better selling EVs in Thailand, you can see that it has the same capacity. So this car at the price of Dolphin, but you get the capacity of Auto. Very impressive. So look is not very deceiving at all. Actually, you get what you see. Now let's look at the storage capacity using our usual measuring tools. The interior storage space. So let's see, for the front door on each side, you can do 5 bottles each. On the cup holders, you can do 2 bottles. Underneath the console, you can do 3 bottles. Moving to the back, we have 2 on each door, and we have 2 on the armrest. So the total is 21 bottles, which is only a little bit less. I think it's 1 bottle less than the BYD Dolphin. So this is very impressive indeed. Okay, so right now it's time to get inside. I'll start with the rear seat. And as I said on other clips, that 5'5", my height, is not that tall. So it's not really the standard measurements for everyone, but at least you get a sense of how much space it has. I think it's very sufficient. Like I said, design, we have to actually sit in. By look at the design itself, it might be deceiving, but in this case, I think it's for real. You have enough space here, you have enough space on the head. Of course, you have panoramic glass roof. The bit that I like the most is the seating. Even though it's fake leather, but the way they design it with this stitching in blue, it gives a sense of more premium feeling, and the touch point is very soft. So for this price and the things that you're getting, I think it's really worth the money. So I would suggest if you're interested in the car in this segment, go to the showroom and check it out yourself. So overall for this design. You have a air vent here, you have USB-A down here. So it is comfortable enough and the position is good enough, and I think it's perfect. Okay, so before we start driving, let's talk a little bit about the function when you sit in the driver position. So as you can see, if you remember, I mentioned before that if you have a car platform that's based for both ICE and EV, there will be some function that is overlapping. It's like this car, in some other places, they have the ICE version, which means the adjustment for a lot of functions is still physical buttons. Like you have the adjustment of side mirrors here, you have the gear shift right here, you have windshield wipers and turn signals. Even to adjust the seat, it's on the side of the seat. Personally, I don't mind it at all. I really like it. And additionally that I like is the windows. It's actually more something that you're familiar with, not the opposite direction like the other EVs from China. Even though you have physical buttons everywhere, you still have the screen and you have the ADAS system, which comes super packed. In addition, you even have this panoramic glass roof, and this car actually comes with ventilation seats. Imagine that. Even without the promotion price, you have ventilation seats, you have all the ADAS system, you have all these functions. Right now, in my book, this car is easily becoming #1 in the market in its segments right now. But let's wait a little bit and let's take this one for a drive and see how it is. So right now we are driving this car on the typical Thai road. Right now we're on the expressway. Enough power for overtaking. Of course, the feeling of the car for this segment, I think it's my favorite. And the reason being that most of the Chinese EV that I've been driven, it tends to go, and I say this a lot, but it's kind of soft. So I had chance to speak with the country manager for Jaecoo Omoda, and he told me that the design of suspension setting for their vehicle is based on the European specs, just like their partner Land Rover. So they kind of get that idea of how to set the suspension from Land Rover, which means it's a little bit more stiff, I wouldn't say, than the usual Chinese EV. So I think it gives the car a character. And you will find this with most, at least for the two brands that I have driven, the Omoda and Jaecoo, which is the parent company, which is Chery. Both of the cars that sell in Thailand. So I actually appreciate these settings. Like I said, the power is enough. The function is very easy to reach, to control. I have a chance to test the sound system before, and it's just passable for whatever price you're paying for this car right now. It's passable. It's noise insulation. So compared to the car that I have been tested in this segment, the noise volume, it's acceptable. You can still hear some noise, but it's not loud, it's not bad either. So it's somewhere in the middle, it's acceptable. And if you notice, there might be some noise from the tires. The car is using GT tires, which is known for making some noises if you go at high speed. But because the car is not expensive, so you don't expect them to put a premium tires on. So the road handling, everything else is acceptable. It's just a little bit of noise coming in. So if you want to improve on that, you just have to pay a little bit more and get some new, more premium tires in. In addition, for those of you who are not familiar with EV cars and still have a question in your head that if the car goes into, because in Thailand, we usually have some flash flood, the one that the car can still drive through. So the specifications say 45 centimeters. So I'll have some insert right now. We did test. We took it on the 45 centimeters or 50 centimeters water. We do a little bit weight test. No problem at all. The car even comes with hill descent control. Even though it's front wheel drive, it still has that. You can put that on. You can do light off-road. Okay, so we took it on a light off-road with the ground clearance of 175 millimeters. It can do some cool driving, and of course we also take it on a little bit of dirt, slippery surface to test the stability control of this car. And what we found out, it works really well. It doesn't interfere when you drive. It doesn't feel like it's taking over, so it gives you that a little bit fun to drive feeling. And for me, it is surprised to see in the car of these segments. We come to the conclusion that the system kicks in very smoothly. You don't feel like it's overpowering you when you drive the car. So it really works together well with the firmer suspension. So it's really leaning towards people who like to drive. Don't mind me, this is not BMW or Porsche, okay? This is the normal brand budget EV SUV. But for this price and its abilities, I would say it's my top 5 easily. So there you have it. So functions, Apple CarPlay, everything you have, the driving dynamics, it's good enough. You will be surprised if you drive a little bit fast. And yeah, so I'll put the numbers. We did a close area, compare with 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 miles per hour, compared to the specs, how it does. and the braking distance from 120 kilometers to 0, just to compare that, and so you can have some ideas and you can compare that with our other tests. Okay, so there it is with our review. As you can see, this car, it's everything that you expect it to be and even more. It has the luggage capacity beyond its peers in the same segment or even the same price range. And even without the introductory price, I still think this car is one of the cars that you definitely should shortlist it and should really think about if you're looking for the car of this particular size or particular price range. You can see that we are, there are some concerns still, especially in Thailand, where during monsoon season, there's some possible flood in Bangkok. If this car will drive through those waters or those little floods everywhere, you can see through our inserts, we test that. We test the stability system that actually helps the car. It doesn't overpower you when as a driver. It really accommodates you. Even have hill descent control from your drive car. So yeah, there's no reason not to really consider this car. You're definitely looking for the car with these segments. So there it is. That's our verdict. You really need to check it out. And in the near future, we have some recommendations, especially from our team, that we should do Battle Royale this car and maybe some other hybrids or maybe some Japanese EV and see how it does. So if you'd like to see that, please comment down below. So thank you for following us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. See you next clip.